Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Everybody that's Irish, everybody that's not Irish. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. It's 4 a.m. bright and early here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I want to talk about Trump and he's coming out now and he's trying to paint the entire. We all remember the Brad Raffensperger story, right? Where the hour-long recording of him trying to trying to influence the Secretary of State in Georgia. Well, it turns out he made several calls to Raffensperger, to his deputies and people under him. He made several calls. Okay, now the Raffensperger story hasn't changed, but Trump is coming out now and saying that everything was a hoax. What he's trying to do is trying to cover up everything. The Raffensperger story is all 100% legit. We all heard it. Now, 6 days later, another story came out in the Washington Post. And originally, they didn't think that there was a transcript or recording to this. So one person told another, and that person told the Washington Post. And a few words got changed around. I'm going to tell you the exact words that were used in the Washington Post and the exact words in the phone call. And they are not very different. Some would say that the actual phone call might have even been worse. Okay? But Trump is taking advantage of this situation to paint the entire thing as a hoax, trying to cover up, because he was cold busted on this call to Raffensperger, asking Raffensperger to find him 11,780 votes. And we all heard that call, find him. And Trump was citing random sources in the far right message boards on Acon and stuff about these conspiracy theories. And Raffensperger told him, we've counted the votes, we recounted the votes, we machine counted the votes. There was no election fraud, and Trump just keeps on trying to bully him. You just find me 11,780 votes. And then Trump gives Raffensperger an excuse. Look, you could just tell people you made a mistake. You found the votes. He was cold busted. So now he's trying to just call everything a hoax. That is not what it is. Okay, the original Raffensperger call came out in the Washington Post on January 3rd. Okay, 6 days later, Amy Gardner worked for the Washington Post, and she broke the story of Brad Raffensperger. 6 days later, this story was reported to her. Okay, Trump called Frances Watson too. She worked underneath Brad Raffensperger. He tried calling like a couple dozen times, different people, trying to influence the election, the results. All right, he called Frances Watson. I think Frances Watson is the Deputy Secretary of State. Now, Frances Watson told Jordan Fuchs about this phone call, who's also working underneath Raffensperger. Then Jordan Fuchs told Amy Gardner, the Washington Post. So Trump called Watson. Watson told somebody in her office, and then he told the Washington Post. So the words got changed in the context. This is what happened, though. They didn't think there was a transcript to this phone call. They didn't think there was a recording. But they found it in Frances Watson's phone, in her trash folder. They found the recording. And what was reported in the Washington Post, what Trump said, they reported that he said, find the fraud. If you find the fraud, you'll be a national hero. Okay, that's what was reported. Okay. What he really said was find the dishonesty. And when the answer comes out, you'll be praised. Those two, the words, find the fraud, that's what was reported. Trump actually said, find the dishonesty. I don't see much difference there, honestly. I don't see how that really makes a difference one way or the other. It was originally reported that Trump said, you'll be a national hero. And that's not what he said. In the actual recording, they found out he said, when the right answer comes out, you'll be praised. You'll be praised. You'll be rewarded. I don't know. I honestly, I'm a progressive, liberal, Democrat voter. I can't tell you one is worse than the other. He's trying to bully and influence this person. I can't honestly tell you you'll be praised. That means you'll be rewarded. monetarily, with a job, I don't know, whatever. I think, to me, so I could almost, what he actually really said could almost be worse. You'll be praised, or you'll be a national hero. Okay, so that was the difference. And it honestly appears they didn't, this took a while to find these recordings in her trash, on her phone, in her trash folder. It seems like an honest mistake. And like I said, the phone call was from Trump to Amy Watson. Amy Watson told Jordan Fuchs in her office, and then he talked to the Washington Post reporter. And in that chain, as we all know, a few words got altered. To me, I mean, from my heart, honestly, I don't think this was intentional. I don't think this was any hoax. I could understand a national hero, what was reported, what he actually said. When the right answer comes along, you'll be praised. I don't know. But anyway, so Trump is taking advantage of this situation right now. The Washington Post came out and corrected it, which was the right thing to do. The thing is, though, Trump is coming out now and saying that it's a hoax, and he's taking advantage of his whole MO, as usual, his whole modus operandi is to do this, to spin something in his favor. He's done this his entire life. And of course, the people that are still following him, his supporters, will be more than happy to believe it. So they're going to write off this whole Brad Raffensperger thing, which is true. His original call asking Raffensperger to find 11,780 votes, that's all legit. It was just a matter of maybe 10 words. Find the fraud was what was reported. Find the dishonesty was what was actually said. National hero was what was originally reported. You'll be a national hero. What Trump actually said is, when the right answer comes out, you'll be praised. And that's it. That's the entirety of the mistake, of the correction. Now, Trump is coming out now and saying the whole Washington Post, he gives credit to the Washington Post for the correction. But he calls the whole, it's a hoax. They were trying to make me look bad. You did look bad. He was cold busted. He's still cold busted. And these were only two of a dozen or more phone calls he repeatedly made to the Georgia election officials, Secretary of State, and everybody in the office, Deputy Secretary of State, everybody and anybody he could get a hold of, trying to bully them to find 11,780 votes. That still stands. That is the truth. He said that. He said that to Brad Raffensperger, but he's spinning this, saying that because a few words in the second story, not the Brad Raffensperger story, the second story, where he talked to Francis Watson on the phone, were misconstrued, were just reported wrong. And again, I don't see this as intentional. I don't. If you're going to try to make Trump look intentionally, you don't even have to try to make Trump look intentionally bad, first of all. And second of all, you could see how these phrases could be misconstrued. And lastly, I don't see that one is really worse than the other. And Trump is trying to paint this as, it was intentional. They were intentionally trying to lie on him and make him look like he was trying to bully and influence the actual election results, which he was. So that's the truth of the matter right there. All right, so from my next video, I want to talk about Tucker Carlson, man. And the reason I'm not obsessed with him, but I just can't believe this guy in the bow tie. First, it was Meghan Markle, calling Meghan Markle a liar. Then it was the flight suits, saying that that women shouldn't be in the military, that it makes the military less masculine, because the flight suits would help if they were pregnant. And Bull of the Fifth Column did an excellent video talking about how important it is to keep these. This is the reason they'd want to keep pilots, even pregnant women pilots, in the Army because they are so worth so much money in their training. So they're willing to account to help them with the flight suits or the hairstyles or whatever they want to keep them, to retain them in the Army. Bo did an excellent video on that. So anyway, Tucker Carlson is, now it's the Grammys, and he's talking about Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B are tearing apart the very fabric of American society. Oh my God. It terrorizes poor little Tucker. Man, I'm no psychologist. But we got this little guy in a bow tie all scared of these women performing on stage. I don't need to be a psychologist to tell you guys about that, the insecurity I see there. What's Tucker Carlson's shoe size anyway? He's probably got small hands, just like Donald Trump. All right, I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a great St. Patrick's Day.